Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about this T app Fiasco. Now, you may have already heard about this. It's kind of been going on for a few days now, and yesterday, it really all kind of hit the fan, right? Now, over on Twitter or X, whatever you prefer to call it, this is where this has mostly been kind of taking off and becoming a huge thing, right? So, a few days ago, this new app on the App Store and whatnot became super popular. It was like one of the most downloaded dating apps and whatnot in the world at one point. This new app came out called T, okay? Now this app is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, right? It is an app that was apparently designed to help women in like cities and other areas like that basically communicate with one another about men. Now, the stated purpose of this app is basically like, let's say you're a 23-year-old woman in Austin, Texas, right? You log into this app, you verify that you're a woman or whatever, and then you can scroll through, say you matched with somebody on like Tinder or something, you can kind of just look them up or whatever and see if people have basically given them reviews. Women basically are saying the whole point of this app was so that women could date safer, they could avoid men who are like predators or doing weird stuff, basically by reviewing men on this app. Now, of course, as any app does, it kind of devolved into chaos pretty quickly, right? Some people were using the app as intended, right? Some of these women were, I guess, using it as like a review thing for men or whatever. But of course, you know, people started catching wind of this entire thing. It completely devolved from there. You inevitably had people who were on there and they weren't even using the app for that, right? You had women on there just like, oh, Matthew from Plainview has a little penis. And it's just, you know, not even really the point of the app. It's just at that point like gossiping or stupid shit, right? And so people online found out about this app, and since it verifies that you're a woman before you can sign up, a lot of men online were pretty pissed off about this app because from the way they see it, these women are basically using it to gossip about them. They're on there maybe spreading misinformation or just saying stupid shit on there about people that's not true. And so people decided to get back at them. So this massive issue unfolds when it appears whoever made this app, I really don't know, they did basically no work on this app. I mean, they probably chat GPT'd the app together or some bullshit because the app had little to no security whatsoever on it. So the main way that this app verifies that you're a woman is almost like how a bank app or something would verify your identity. So what you do is, as the woman, right, you upload a picture of yourself and you upload a picture of like your driver's license or another government ID, and then it verifies it through that. So tons of women who used this app did so, right? They used their legal name, they put pictures of themselves on this app, they put pictures of their government IDs, things like that. So like I said, people were really pissed off. A lot of men online were really pissed off about this app, and I don't know how, but somebody figured out just by literally basically going to the website, they figured out that you could pretty much just download a file on said website that contains all of the user data for this app. Like I said, no security whatsoever. So people start downloading this file, and then suddenly within hours there are now maps online that identify all of the locations of users on the app. There are people on Twitter that are flat out doxing the women who have used this app by posting their names, their pictures, the photos of their IDs that were downloaded, all these different things. And so now it's completely gone nuclear, right? This app has been completely ripped apart. These people are doxing the people who are using the app. All of this information is basically public now. It's a massive problem, right? And everybody is kind of wondering how this could happen, but in reality, all this shows, at least to me, is nobody can trust anyone anymore. So let's look at it from basically everybody's perspective in this instance, right? So the women, the reason that they wanted this app in the first place, I guess the reason this app was supposedly created and whatnot, they don't trust men, okay? Women don't trust men in the dating pool anymore. They don't think that, like, you know, that they're picking men right, you know? They're worried that they could pick somebody who's like a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer psychopath, you know? He's gonna eat your kidneys or something like that. And so the app for them is something that they can use to vet people. It's an app that they can use to kind of like exclude people from the dating pool that they don't want in the dating pool. And so obviously like they don't trust men. That's the whole reason this app exists in the first place, is because women just apparently don't trust men in the dating pool. And so they want apps like this to vet them. Now also at the same time, let's go ahead and point this out. The reason that the people created this app was not for women, okay? Because let's be real, if you really cared about women being safe or whatever, and you were making like the ultimate safety app for women in the dating pool, you wouldn't make it to where like someone can go on your website, download a publicly facing file, and then suddenly they have all the information on all your clients. Like that just doesn't make any fucking sense. So this was clearly kind of like vibe coded together by somebody who was just trying to make a quick buck. They didn't care about safety, they didn't care about security, and as a result, the whole thing was just completely fucking blown up within probably a matter of minutes of people figuring out that you could download all this info. Now, at the same time, the reaction online has been largely negative on both sides, and it's pretty much split between gender lines in all reality. Like, the men online, they don't trust the women who are using this app, because, I mean, from a lot of the perspectives online, like, people have been sharing, you know, they're like, well, you wouldn't want to date the women using this app anyway. And I've seen posts of guys who are, like, doxing the faces and shit of the women using this app, and they'll pick, like, fat girls or, like, psycho-looking girls or whatever. They'll make that the post. They're like, you don't want to date women using this app anyway, right? So the women don't trust the men in the dating pool anymore, and hence apps like this exist where if you fuck a girl too poorly or they think your dick is too small, they can clown you on this app and you can be ostracized in your community. Or if a girl thinks you're rapey or whatever, she can put you on this app and you're exposed or whatever. The men, in retaliation for this, I guess, online, don't trust the women using this app because they think they're roasty, or they think that they're disgusting, judgmental, shitty people, whatever it may be, right? And it seems like that's where a lot of the back and forward is going. It's between the men and the women online. Oh, you're an incel because you don't like this app, or you're a stupid roasty for using this app, shit like that, right? But it doesn't, to me at least, seem like anybody is pointing the finger at the people who provided the service in the first place. Because in reality, they're the ones responsible for all of this. Now, yeah, somebody did go online and like download this info, and people have been using it to like map and dox the women using this app and shit like that, but ultimately none of that probably would have happened if the people who made the app gave even a modicum of a fuck in the first place. Now, they created this app and they created this whole fiasco, right? They're the ones who made the app in the first place. They're the ones who created the concept. So on a base level, they were kind of already fueling this argument, right? They were already providing the thing that caused the men and women online to be fighting with one another. But not only that, they coded it so poorly and gave such a little fuck about security on the app itself and the information that you provide them. They didn't even give a fuck to do anything for security, man. Like, this is one of the worst security failures I've ever seen an app have. They may have well had a whole tab inside of the app that just literally doxed all the users on the app, because that's basically what's happened now. I mean, there are women who put their ID into this app thinking, you know, oh, I'm going to use this to figure out my dating life or whatever. And now 3 days later, they have people online who are harassing them because all that info leaked. The pictures of them leaked, all that, whatever, right? So the app, the app did everything. I mean, let's be real. The app caused every single part of this problem, and it seems like they're the ones getting the least flack for everything involved here, right? Even though they're the ones clearly trying to make money off of this entire fight between men and women and shit. So it does make me wonder how technologically illiterate people have become, though, because, I mean, let's be real here, right? Let's just go ahead and think this through. Some random new phone app that, I mean, it's not even like it's a necessity. It's not a banking app or something like that where it's like, okay, I need to get into my bank account. It's like a borderline like dating gossip app, you know what I mean? Or like a reporting red flag app. And people were putting their fucking driver's license into this app. And you know, people were stunned when said app, which just came out, wasn't by like anybody important. It's just probably some fucking guy in his bedroom who made the app, right? People were surprised that all this info leaked. I mean, I feel like I've been saying this for a while now, but we as a populace have to be smarter online. We as a populace have to be smarter when it comes to technology. I remember when I was in the first grade, we had to take like an internet safety class and computer typing class, right? And like one of the big things they harp is like, don't give your information out online. Don't tell people who you are, don't tell people where you live, shit like that, right? But it seems like all these years later, we've initially forgotten all of those lessons that we kind of learned as kids, because I guess we just put all of the safety and security on the app developer or on like Apple for running the App Store. But obviously that's just insane. Like, there's no human possible way, right, where you can just expect to put your information into 7,000 different websites and apps and then expect for it to never get leaked or never be used for nefarious purposes, right? We're basically like data cattle, and we have no problem with it. I mean, we just sign up for shit. Fuck it. Yeah, here's my whole driver's license, my government issued ID, right? Like, that's what's most ironic about the app, right? Like, the app is a red flag, you know, like, I guess, reporting app or whatever, but the red flags with the app were more than apparent. I mean, you don't even have to be like some tech bro to realize, like, hey, maybe I shouldn't be putting my info into apps like this, right? And the craziest part is, like, most of these girls who are now getting doxxed or fucked with or harassed for putting their info into this app in the first place, they probably didn't even see this as a possibility, right? They just thought, okay, I'll put my info in the app, it'll verify me, now I can use this or whatever. It probably never crossed anyone's minds that the developer of the app was so fucking incompetent that they couldn't even hash together basic security. I mean, it's like a HTML file is holding all the info on the site. Like, come on. I almost don't even want to call this situation like a hack or a data breach, because it's the equivalent of me putting like a zip file out on Twitter with all of my personal info and then being surprised that you guys are hosting a cookout in my driveway, you know? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's scary because it shows nobody has any trust for anything anymore except for just blind trust in app developers and shit, right? The women don't trust their new potential boyfriends because they're afraid the guys might rape them or might eat their kidneys or whatever, right? The men don't trust the women because the women use apps that are supposed to be used to report whether or not they're insane, and they think that the women are just being fucking overzealous about all this shit and whatnot, right? You can't trust the people creating the apps that are supposedly gonna solve the problem because they can't even put together basic fucking security. You can't trust anyone anymore. That's the lesson or the takeaway, I guess, from all of this, is nobody has any trust for anybody anymore. They have no belief in each other, except for, I guess, if you're inventing and creating a phone app. I don't know. It's a pretty wild and insane situation. I mean, people are still fighting about it online. That's basically all this whole fiasco has been people, mostly men and women on gender lines, arguing on the internet, right? But like I said, it doesn't seem like anybody is willing to point the finger at the people creating these apps for cashing out on these arguments in the first place, cashing out on dividing the sexes even more, cashing out on harvesting people's information, all this other shit, right? But anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the T-App fiasco and signing out.